Newsline with Faraz, Shauketaly.
And a splendid morning to you. This is Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo, and of course broadcasting only on TV1, part of the Capital Maharaja Group. And this morning, to start the proceedings, is a very vociferous politician who's done the rounds, but his essential theme is frankly speaking. And frankly speaking, on this morning's program, hopefully, is Mr. Azath Salley. Very good morning to you, Mr.
Morning,
Salley.
Faraz.
It's wonderful to have you here. Now then, many questions that your viewpoint might help. But first of all, the joint opposition defends the MP's right to accept perks and privileges, so says Mahinda Ferdinando from that wonderful The Island paper. What do you have to say about this?
They believe only in that.
Only in the perks.
Mahinda Rajapaksa and the group.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you, I've been right throughout telling what they have been doing to this country, what damage they have caused to this country is very well known.
Yeah.
But if there is something given to MPs, they will definitely want these people to get this.
Right.
So that is why they say, and at the same time you see our good friend Talata Atukor also saying that
I think Talata has actually taken leave of her good common sense. Minister Talata Atukor is quoted in The Island as saying that this government has not misused even a cent. Perhaps Minister Atukor was living in a different stratosphere because she's obviously missed the bond, at the very least. And so many other things where this money has been just spent willy-nilly without consideration of the people's purse. So, well brought up, Mr. Salley, but you
it's a shame.
To that.
It's a shame for me to listen to you about a minister in the present government saying that not a cent has been robbed by any of the ministers. If I go to give you details, I think we have been discussing so many issues that has taken place, and this is not the pledge that we gave the people of this country. We wanted good governance. We said we will give you that. But today, if you take the steps the president has taken, itself proves that his cabinet and ministers are also robbing. And did you see just last week, pictures have come after Vimal Veera once was arrested for misusing 84 vehicles. Lakshman Kiriella has taken 146 vehicles and dumped it at the Kandy RDA office. For all his supporters, he had given state vehicles. Now these vehicles have been gone in for parking.
This Kiriella is actually going a bit OTT, over the top.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Even the previous payments.
So what's the hold that he has on the Prime Minister then?
I think, I don't know what is the hold he's having with the Prime Minister.
How come he's getting... I mean, the Prime Minister doesn't have 100 vehicles.
Yeah, but I think the Prime Minister only has told him after we raised this issue several times and the other parties raised it. He gave a very good example. Right. He said that if Mahinda Rajapaksa can put 200 people as advisors and into other advisors and other supervisors and all that, why can't I do? So that means Mahinda did wrong, I'm just going to follow Mahinda. So this is...
That's what Kiriella says.
Kiriella says. This is not the pledge that President Maithripala Sirisena gave to this country.
I wonder if nobody pointed out to Mr. Kiriella
that is
the reason why he was elected here. On the basis of the excesses of the Rajapaksa government.
Exactly. Now, when this was raised in Parliament, several MPs spoke against that. And what I know is now it has taken 2 years, they have enjoyed these perks. But Prime Minister, I was told that the Prime Minister had told, Vimal is in trouble, next you are going to be in trouble, so see that all these vehicles are withdrawn from the people whom you have given. So that is how all these vehicles have now gone to Kandy RDA office. That is what the picture has proven to us, that even provincial councillors of all his catchers were given a vehicle each. Even those vehicles have been taken out now, I presume.
Well, it's very sad, and of course it's even sadder when one considers, Mr. Salley, that there are various sort of deals in the making, or that appear to be in the making, and the media must be aware and must report these matters to the public.
I'm going to tell you something very, very important that is going to be a breaking news at this moment. The water board has been calling for tenders, and successive bidders have bidded and they have got the tender. Cabinet has made the approval. Even after all the approvals have been got, genuinely done, tenders are not awarded.
That is because?
The water board minister wants another eastern province chief minister to intervene into all those tenders and collect the commission. I am saying this with responsibility.
But perhaps, shall we just be a little bit fair? Do you think that this minister from the eastern province...
Not minister, chief minister of the eastern province, Nazir Ahmed, I will mention his name.
Right. Well, you know, you have to take responsibility.
Yeah, that's what I told you at the beginning itself. And he has said, the minister wants me to meet up with you, and this is my amount. You pay.
But these are very serious matters. You know?
Very serious, and I'm taking up with the president also.
It's very serious that you're mentioning his name and making this accusation.
And he is a wheeler deal. I have been always talking to you very straight about him. I have documents to prove that the
I hope you
most filthiest petrol was born into the country by him. He is the agent.
Right.
And so many millions the petroleum corporation had to pay.
Do you take responsibility for all this?
Of course, Faraz. You know me as usual. I come out with facts and nothing but the truth.
So the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and you heard it right from Mr. Azath Salley. Now, can we just move on a little bit from these controversial matters to another matter that is equally sort of controversial in the making? And that is, have you heard of the Google Loon project? Now, I want to ask you this question. Google Loon is a new technology which one of the world's largest companies, technology companies in the world, and so acknowledged through their Project X, they're trying to bring internet connectivity to the whole...
Free Wi-Fi?
Well, yes. The thing is that because of the nature, it's a balloon and it broadcasts down like that, so you can reach all the most remote parts. Now, good idea. But this big company couldn't come and talk directly to the government of Sri Lanka. Instead, apparently, they needed another company, a private company.
An agent.
An agent. And that is all that the minister himself referred to that as they needed an agent. They don't have an office here. And the CEO of ICTA, when we asked as to what this company is, the minister said that this was facilitated by a Sri Lankan-born Chamat Palipitya, who is an acknowledged expert.
Sri Lankan-born American citizen.
American citizen.
A successful businessman.
Yes, and you know, his whole life is technology, cutting edge, latest technology. But now the minister says that he facilitated that. But you know, our national procurement guidelines doesn't have space for people who facilitate. They have something called transparency and openness. So really speaking, this private company, Brahma Corporation, we have no real idea as to on what basis they came in. Was there a request for proposal? Was there a request to be a consultant? How did it come in? You can't just appoint companies at your whim and your fancy, not when you're dealing with state property. Do you agree?
Yes, of course.
Is that what they have to do?
There is a procedure for everything, and nobody can take the law onto themselves. Now, if you take Chamat's state expenses, you take Chamat's case. The balloon was sent. See, we are still in 4G. Japan is in 7G. We want technology to come to this country. We want all our children to enjoy that facility.
Yes, but the thing is...
not at the expense of the state.
Correct, because
now,
our airwaves belong to the state. That's our national asset.
This was their point. That is where you are missing it. Now, these frequencies, even frequencies can be managed through that. They can disturb your frequencies. That also could happen. This I have already mentioned this in my press conference. How this came, how it happened, And now the blast took place.
Yeah.
Now the minister is taking the responsibility. Yes, we tried it as a test. It was not only a test, but they only tried if they can mobilize that
to get to some other collateral
purpose. That was their plan. And actually speaking, they should have gone for a tender. They should have told anybody can bid on this. These are
to be the agent of Google. But why do we need
Google?
But why do we need an agent? Why can't the TRC, as the custodian of our airwaves, why can't they do it?
They don't have those facilities to do
what
that
to be an agent?
Not to be the agent. Agent means you have to do work also. No, we are never equipped for those type of things.
Yes, but Mr. Salley,
you saw TRC. How many people came and went? Every time somebody came and went, the removal of that person had been for corruption. No person was sent out by TRC for genuinely period was ended,
and that is why we, the public, need to be fully cognizant of the fact that these airwaves, these frequencies, are worth billions of dollars, and that, if you look at it from a financial point of view and the potential, the central bank bond scam is mere petty cash in comparison to what the gilded prospects are for these frequencies to be sold by our country, to be sold, to be leased, and so on. Sure. These are potential money spinners which will help.
No, even an international call that you take has to go through a gateway. No,
correct.
All these things can be manipulated into that. Right. TV channels, TV frequency, radio frequencies, they can manage it, they can destroy it, all that can happen. So why did we go in for that at the beginning itself? Why didn't we know that these things could happen? In a good government, we don't expect these type of things. What we expected was...
we expected was a little bit more transparency.
Exactly.
I mean, it's no good after the media raises the question as to who the shareholders are.
And also come public and say we failed.
Well, that's fine. It was a test. So they say it was a controlled descent. Yeah. But it was so controlled that they didn't know where it landed and had to wait for the villagers to call. Well, that's that. But more on this, on the transparency issue, they really ought to be able to explain coherently that there is a real value in having this, whichever company, and they must then demonstrate that this is not the only company in the whole wide world who are going to help Sri Lanka join the World Wide Web.
And nobody is going to come and do anything free.
And nobody's going to. There's nothing called a free lunch, is there? So there you go. That's on ICTA. Now then, I want to ask you, Mr. Salley, what is going on at the SLMC? There's some leadership battle going on, is there?
That's going in a big way for the last 1.5 to 2 years. From the day this government was formed, that crisis has been on. Yeah. And finally, they put a strategy to go and meet with the SLMC's General Secretary, because the Election Commission has recognized him as the General Secretary. Right. For the last 2 years, that was the battle. And finally, they went to him and discussed with him and said, okay, we are accepting, we will put you back as a nationalist MP. That was the last arrangement they did. Right. This is Mr. Hasan Ali. And just finally, Salman refuses to resign. Yeah. Then they meet, the High Command meets, they remove Bashir from the position of chairman. Yeah. Then they offer the chairman post to Hasan Ali. Right. Hasan Ali refuses to accept that. Yeah. And now the General Secretary is appointed. Right. So that was something nobody expected. And that crisis is going in a big way in the Eastern Province. And what I want to ask you is this. It's a wider question. But I think we must ask the question, why is there a need to mix political ideology with your religious belief? I mean, in the past, minorities, if you look at it from community-wise, the minorities were part of the mainstream political party. Of course. So we had SWRD's SLFP, we had the Senanayaka's UNP, and in both parties
we had people, let's talk about the Muslims. We had
not people, for us, we had powerful people.
Yes, but
like if you take SWRD's government,
yes.
you had Dr. Badruddin Mohammed, who was instrumental in getting us the Muslim services at the SLBC, which up to today we are enjoying.
Yeah.
Likewise, we can mention a lot of things that they have got from successive governments being part of national politics.
Right.
But the day we started communal politics, we and the Tamil parties are to be blamed. We, by starting that only, all these unnecessary problems have cropped up today. If you say, take the BBS, if you take the other organizations that are coming so communal, all this is due to the Muslim and Tamil forming separate political parties to fight for their rights. And what have they won up to now? That's a big question. Okay, you form that, you become very powerful, you have the bargain power to form a government, all that. But what happened ultimately? You bargain only for money for yourself and not for the community.
It certainly looks
That's
like.
all. That's all that happened. That bargaining only took place. And especially, that is not with the Tamil parties of taking money into, but it was the Muslim political parties that dealt. I know it.
And what about you, Mr. Salley? Why are you not in one of these mainstream parties? Why are you with a very especially small
Actually, Faraz, I was with the United National Party, and even the last provincial council election, we as a party joined the UNP, and that is how I contested Kandy and became the first with 57,500 votes. Right, got them because they had a problem in Kandy. They had only 4 seats. We were able to get them 8 seats at the last provincial council. But after that, after winning the January 8th election, then immediately they had to go for general election, where Hakim, Halim and Kiriella got together and ensured that I don't contest because I will be number 1. He knows the situation in the country and my popularity in the country also. So nevertheless, Ranil Wickremesinghe called me and said, Azath, don't contest, we need your services island-wide. You do the campaign. And especially, I am very sad that I had to put a lot of effort to see that Daya Gamage wins, because Daya Gamage can't win that election without the Muslim vote. So Muslims were able to give him 40,000 votes. But today, every communal issue that is coming up or discussion with the President's office, Daya Gamage is there against the Muslims, which is a very sad. I never expected that. Even employment. We expected a lot of things from Daya, because I who gave the pledge to the people, vote for Daya, rest of it I will look after. But 2 years have passed, both husband and wife are ministers. Up to today, they didn't give anything to the Muslim community. So it's very sad.
So are you, even though you're with the NUA, are you with the United National Party or not?
Up to now, we have still not come out of it. We are still alliance partners, but we will have to take a decision at the coming elections.
Can you answer this question? Has there been a real benefit to, let's talk here, the Muslim community, because you, from time to time, sort of manifest yourself as the spokesperson. I don't know if it's you self-appointed or whether the people actually enjoy having you there. But nevertheless, you're in the public there. What benefit has it had to the Muslim community by them having their own political party? Because I have a problem that why should political ideology be mixed with your religious beliefs? Unless, of course, religion is being persecuted. We don't really have that sort of persecution in our country.
Actually, Faraz, is a very good question. I usually don't post myself as a leader of a community or a spokesman of a community. I've been compelled to speak against injustice that is happening within the newly formed good governance government. Now, as you asked me, if the so-called Muslim parties will speak for the rights of the minorities, I will not be a spokesman. No, I don't need to be speaking.
Right.
I had to speak out only because they do not do their duty, because their more concentration is to see that they get something to their pockets. And this is how this politics have been going on. Now, that's why I told you at the beginning itself, what Dr. Badruddin Mohammed has achieved. What AC Summit has achieved, nobody has achieved even after forming a communal party in this country. So these are the things that the Muslim community is suffering today due to that. Because whenever an issue is taken by the majority Sinhala community against the minorities, it is the Muslim political parties that are named and said that these people are behind and these people are doing it. But actually, as Muslims, we know that they have not done anything for the community. So 2 years have passed. If you can ask the two political parties what you have done for the country, what you have done to the community is zero. And how much you earned during the 2 years, that's a very big figure. This is the problem. What we say is, there are issues that now today, from yesterday morning, I have been getting calls in Trincomalee, that in Muttur, there had been a shrine, a very powerful shrine, Ziyaram, at Muttur, Navaladi. That has been demolished yesterday.
Right.
Not by non-Muslims, but Muslim extremists.
Right.
And they say that Imran Maruf was responsible because this land was in the land belonging to Mr. Maruf, Senior Maruf.
Yeah.
So now Imran Maruf's phone was switched off the whole day yesterday.
Right.
Night he sees, I sent him a message, if this is your land, go make a complaint and see that you stop this demolition. He sees that in the night and calls me and says, I am not responsible. So if you are not responsible, this land belongs to you, some outsiders have come and demolished it, immediately make a complaint, we will look after the rest. So like this, lot of activities is happening in the East. Lot of people are being funded to go and ensure that the Muslim history is completed, Muslim history is destroyed. So they, with those money they take, the extremist groups are going to totally take all historical places of the Muslims in the country. Right. So we are having problems. Not that we are getting our problems sorted out or solved, but we are having more problems day by day.
Right. But do you think then that there is a need to be concerned that the East may be a hive of extremist action?
Extremist action, what I say is extremist action has been there right throughout, not that there hasn't been. But it's not a question of anybody going to take into arms or fighting a war or nothing. We have no history of that. Our community has no history of that. We are not people who fight for anything because we are just not bothered of anything. That is the problem. That is why we keep shouting that at least the rights of the minorities must be preserved or must be got. We don't get those things because we don't have the proper leadership.
So we don't have to be concerned about what's happening on
Not to worry about the East at all.
Right.
Anybody can say it. The Budubala Sena have been complaining that this is the situation. But we can be rest assured
that the
Muslim community...
But the Budubala Sena is not military intelligence or national intelligence.
They are not intelligent, but they think that the General Secretary thinks that he is the most intelligent person.
No, I don't mean that. I meant intelligence as in, information.
I know. Even that information for him to get and for him to speak, you must have the intelligence to have it also, no? You must have the intelligence to speak it out also, no? So in front of the President and the Mahanayakas also, when they are so nicely talking, the whole meeting is disturbed and this man intervenes and spoils the meeting by saying Muslim extremists there, Muslims there. All unnecessary allegations, all unwanted allegations have been made. So anybody can speak, Faraz, but to prove a point, you take time. To prove a point,
false?
You have
That's
to have,
what I'm trying to ask.
Of course, 100% false. All his allegations. Now he talks about ISIS. We have spoken about this. Is there ISIS in this country? The military intelligence, the army intelligence, the police intelligence says no. Right? So unnecessary story was made up. Unnecessary to look at every Muslim as a ISIS member was all wrong. You don't force somebody to be that. You have to, if there is somebody like that, we have to remove them from there. Not that you force the entire community to be that, no. So when somebody starts accusing you that Faraz, you are IS, what do you think? At the end of the day, you will think,
are these just cheap gimmicks?
Very cheap gimmicks to gain a political mileage. A political mileage. Nothing but that. Now if you see Mahinda Rajapaksa talking today on removal of Mohan Piris. Now President Maithripala Sirisena very boldly said, I am letting out a secret.
Indeed.
What is that secret? That he met me twice and he told me that he is prepared to give any judgments that he wants.
Right.
Right? So that was the reason that he removed his head.
Yeah.
Right? But Mahinda Rajapaksa today speaks about his removal after 2 years. Right? So this is the situation for us. So everybody is trying to play politics. What I openly say is that Mahinda Rajapaksa and family have been found guilty in several issues.
Well,
right?
not really.
They have been found guilty.
By who?
Up to now,
By who?
Up to now, this government has still not persuaded things properly to send them to gallows. Now that is the point that I am trying to raise. That must be done immediately. Not only that, as the president, as the only president who has robbed this country, as the only president who has robbed this country so much with the family and so many murders, what happened to Lasantas? You and I have been talking, our dear friend Lasanta.
Okay, what
is happening to Lasanta? What is happening to Tajuddin?
No, but what about the Keith Noyer case now?
That is now they being arrested. Now I think 5 or 7 army personnel have been arrested. So 3 other persons have been arrested last night. So like that things are happening, but it is very, very slow. What I am trying to say is, at the end of the day, when you see all these things collected and when you are going to arrest them, by that time you will have the next general election coming in. Ultimately the result will be zero. So all your effort.
So ultimately,
what I am trying to say is a hybrid court is a must for these type of financial crimes, for looting the country, for robbing the country, for killing innocent people, for burning TV stations, for sending the journalists out of the country, threatening them, white man abductions. All these things must be investigated fast, and justice have to be given to the people. Now Tajuddin's murder. Everybody is waiting, day and night waiting to see what is going to happen. What was that? 139,000 telephone calls have been investigated and they found that it is coming from the big man's office. 39 calls coming from the big man's office. So why? What I say is that Mahinda Rajapaksa's civic rights must be removed. It is my personal opinion here. I have been saying this right throughout, because if Sirima Bandaranaike, she never robbed this country, but her civic rights was removed by J.R. Javardhana for 7 years. Right? A man who has robbed this country, looted this country.
But before all that,
abduction,
we can't be having kangaroo courts. We need to, it needs to be properly investigated.
Yeah, you must have proper courts. I'm not for a moment saying that we must have kangaroo courts.
First of all,
they must
prove the evidence beyond reasonable doubt.
It's all proven, Faraz. Only delay is why they don't do is my big question with Mr. Wickramasinghe. I think these investigations have to go on fast as possible and ensure that the people, Faraz, you are in the streets, I am on the streets.
Have you asked Mr. Wickramasinghe why it's not being done?
Every Wednesday my question to the UNP government is, why is these culprits not taken into custody?
No, have you not had a one-to-one?
No. Well, now he doesn't have time to meet people. I have been telling you that right through. First and foremost, he has deprived me from the national list. Number? I have it.
Right.
One thing.
Have you sent him WhatsApp messages?
No, he doesn't have WhatsApp. Oh. One thing in the man is you call him, he will respond to you. That you
need
can't
to do that.
Also, I must in one way thank him on his trip to Australia. The statement that he made to the Tamils living in Australia.
Yes.
That no cases. Yeah. All of you are welcome immediately. And also he mentioned one thing. There is a very small group who went for the purpose of the war.
Yeah.
There is war going on, they have been straightly threatened or something, they went. But other people made use of this war and they are there. So I am inviting all these people to come back to the country.
Wonderful.
That was a wonderful statement, whatever said and done, because if there is MR, nobody is coming back to the country. But that assurance he has given, no case, nothing, you can come back. But that gives a very clear indication that this is good governance.
Mr. Azath Salley, thank you very much. It's been wonderful having you on the program.
Thank you.
Newsline is very thankful for you to come and share your thoughts. Some controversial, but some thought-provoking. Thank you very much. And that's it from Newsline this morning. We'll see you here, same time, same place, tomorrow morning. In the meantime, take care, have an excellent week, and God bless.